BRAY J here with you at Luna Live, hanging out with our buddies Royal Teeth. They are in the Lake City, and of course we're excited to have them. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great.
We're very good.
Yeah! I love it. If y'all would please introduce yourselves and then tell us what instrument you play or if your vocals and etc.
I am Joshua and I play bass.
I'm Nora, I sing.
Josh, drums. And my name is Gary and I also sing.
So of course I saw you played in Baton Rouge last night with Watchers, of course. And then the night before, let's see if I recall, we are in Texas?
Yes, Houston.
Okay, and what venue did y'all play at?
Warehouse Live.
How was that?
It's great.
I've only been to one show there, but I was very impressed. I thought it was a cool venue.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. It's the first time we've done that. We've every other time in Houston we've done House of Blues, so
okay,
just changed it up a little bit.
Cool deal. All right, so how long have y'all been together as a band?
The four of us, well, about 3.5 years, almost 4 years. And Thomas, our guitar player, he joined us
6 months.
6 months ago.
And how's he enjoying it so far?
And I think he's pretty happy.
Yeah. We hope, right?
I hope he's happy.
Loves it.
Loves it.
He's not here. I don't know where he is.
He's standing right outside of the room.
He's
He's probably having
what's
fun.
going
on.
He's
Yeah.
probably having a great time out there, I'm sure.
He's known the guys for years. That Hef and Wells and Thomas were in a band prior to this.
Yeah.
So they automatically played together and had the connection. So when it came time to need a guitar player, he was like automatically like, oh, we gotta call Thomas. So yeah, it's worked out great. Yeah.
I always love when it works out that smoothly. It's like, perfect fit.
Pretty good little tour too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this tour. Please, fill me in. How long was it? Where'd y'all travel to? Just an overview.
This one was actually only 3 days.
Yeah, we've been off for about 6 weeks writing, working on album 2, but I mean before that we've pretty much been on the road off and on since August, supporting the album. And, yeah, touring constantly for almost 2 years now, so over 2 years now. So we've been everywhere in the U.S.
What is that like? I'm always curious. You hear bands tour all the time, but what is it actually like to, as a band, to be together that long and then to see? I mean, it's crazy. I'm sure.
What's weird is that it starts to feel normal. That's not knowing where you are half the time and not knowing what day it is.
Never know what day it is.
Well, we know what time it is, I guess, because we have to be at the venue on time. But you start to kind of lose a sense of the normal stuff, I guess, and that starts to become normal. So just waking up, you wake up in the back of a band, you just see stuff, and you're like, all right, cool, mountain. And you go back to bed, and then you wake up and you're at the venue. But you start to like that, it's because it's cool when you do stop and you have the chance to actually explore and see it. To say, oh, I've been here. Oh, I recognize this. And we're in parts of Denver, and I'm like, oh, I know this street. There's a coffee shop right there, and I'm like, it's so weird to be so far, but to find these parts that you can tie, make familiar and stuff.
Yeah, we're starting to find our favorite restaurants and bars in every city, and it's what happy hours are good and all that good stuff.
It's nice to have something familiar in each city when we're not at home sometimes.
So are you all originally from Lafayette?
No, Thomas and I are from Lafayette. Gary and Wells, our bass player Josh, they're from New Orleans area and
I'm from Baton Rouge.
Okay. And how did y'all link up? Like, did y'all just hear about each other, and how did it go?
I guess me, Josh, and Thomas were kind of in a band before, and when that band was on the outs, his band was on the outs, and everybody, just a bunch of bands breaking up, and just decided to try this out, and we gave it a shot, and it worked. So
Wells told me, Wells was drunk in a bar, and he said, I'm going to be real with you. You're awesome, but your band sucks. So if you move to Lafayette, we'll start playing music together. And so I said, all right, you jerk, and I left. And then shortly after that, I moved to Lafayette and started a band, quit my band, and started a new one, and that ended up being this. So he had good advice for me.
As he was drunk.
As he was drunk.
His band really was horrible. It was really bad.
Well, we're glad that all of you are together now. That's the positive.
I'm going to be real with you right quick.
So let me ask you, of course, American Idol. Please tell me, how does something like that happen? How do you...
We still don't know.
Yeah?
We thought it was a joke when
we surely
got the phone call. Where were we?
Columbus. It was on Mardi Gras, and our manager called and said, American Idol called, they want you guys to be on the show. And at first I was like, oh, they probably just want to use one of our songs or something like that. I was like, awesome, he was like, no, they like want you to play on the show. And we're like, no,
Why?
no.
That's what I said. Why?
Yeah. But it turns out they were doing a little series where each judge would pick an upcoming artist, like a artist to watch type thing, and Eric Connick Jr. picked us, and so
Very awesome.
2 weeks later we're going out to LA to film.
Have y'all performed in front of him before? Did y'all?
No, we didn't know he knew who we were, so it all came as a pretty big surprise.
That is really awesome.
Yeah, and he was really sweet, awesome guy. We got to meet him when we were out there, and he's really down to earth. And it's cool.
For y'all linking up, how is it to find that sound? I hear some bands say, you know, oh, it took us a while, or we had to completely change the sound that we were used to, or some people say that we were able to really kind of find that great fusion. You know, we were able to just bring it all in together and it worked out perfectly. How did that work for y'all?
Yeah, I think the sound that is, I guess, the most signature comes when we are together and we play together. Like, we write a lot of songs. I write a lot of songs, and sometimes we'll be separated throughout Louisiana, so I'll email this and I'll email that. We'll make demos that sound like this, and one sounds completely different. And it's funny, once we start actually playing them live, then they start to sound similar. So there's just there's a certain chemistry I think that bands will have, you know, that'll do that. You're killing the energy, man.
Jeez, bro.
Totally cool. You gotta always have that. You gotta always have that moment. Thank you. I didn't have to pay him to do it. He just did it naturally.
But yeah, when we got together for our first ever recording, we didn't even know what kind of band we were yet. We just had like 10 songs to our name. We were experimenting. We just said, let's make it big and fun, pop songs but we're a band, so we want there to be a lot of energy and to be really catchy. And that's kind of been the common thread. So as the band's grown and evolved, you know, some of the sounds are more mature now, some might be serious, more this, but that energetic feel and that togetherness, I think, is still the same thing that doesn't go away, I guess. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, I rarely ask bands about writing, which I know for some people is the most important thing, obviously, what message you're sending out there. Do all of you write, or, you know, are there main ones of you that do most of the writing? How does that process work?
It usually starts with Gary, just a basic idea, the skeleton of a song, an acoustic guitar, maybe like a chorus melody, or, you know, sometimes we'll put the whole song together on acoustic, and he'll email it over, and three of us who live in Lafayette will get together and, you know, kind of put like drum beats and samples and just kind of start to create a demo, and then, you know, we'll mail back and forth, and eventually it all comes together.
And if it doesn't, we get rid of it. Forget about it.
That's why it's been so much fun to have Thomas now, because he's relatively new and he writes music himself. He's so good that we were all, you know, in a weird sense, we're all fans of his style, like on his own thing. He has his own side project of just like he makes his own electronics and stuff. And it's also good. So having him on board now, he's become this whole other machine where he'll send me songs and all I have to do is hum something over it. And like most of the work's already done. I'm like, this is fantastic. Let's just keep this like it is. I'm kind of stealing his music now. Like, oh, can we use that for royalties? That's pretty fantastic. So it's like another mind working on the project. So I feel like it's, especially as of late going into album 2, it's been huge for us to, you know, we've been so creative. I feel like we've written, you know, while we're off, we'll have like a week or two off and we'll write like 3 songs, and that's just something we never did before. We didn't have that to our ability before, so it's been great.
So, new album coming up.
Hope so. I mean, yes, eventually. There's no date or anything.
Well, that's great.
We're still writing it.
Well, no, and that's great. Y'all get that freedom to. What is that process like so far? How is that going?
Well, wait, which
For the new album.
the new album? It's been great. We've actually had, I guess, about 6 weeks at home, which is rare for us. So we've really taken the opportunity to stay busy and work on the songs. And we've probably got 11 or so songs finished up now, with the idea to write about 40 more before we actually...
Oh, that's all just for...
Yeah, just about 40. No, the idea is just to get as much material together before we go in the studio, and that way we have more to choose from and we can really put together an album that we're happy with.
Yeah, we're very picky. So, you know, in theory, you're like, oh, 11 songs, that's an album, we're done. And it's like, no, let's write, you know, let's triple that, and let's just like weed out everything that doesn't still really get to us within the next 6 months. You know, stuff that we can't do without, and you really know. We didn't really do, I mean, I love everything we've done so far, but I don't think we've ever had that. We've never really been like that before. You know, a lot of their first album was so new, so it was just a different time, you know, a different process. Now I feel like going through that, we can kind of be a little more critical, but in a good way. Like, is this really the best thing we can do, or can we take a little more time and actually really get the best out of this?
Yeah, for album 1, everything happened pretty quickly. I mean, we haven't been a band for too long, so we didn't have 40 songs together. We just kind of had 10 or 15, Then once we got signed, they re-released the EP, and we just were on the road constantly, so we didn't have too much time to really sit down and focus on writing. So this is a different process, and we're excited about it.
And how did y'all come up with the name? How is that?
It's
we don't talk about that. It's very boring, but it sounds cool.
It doesn't mean anything.
You don't have to meet. Like, who came up with it? How did y'all just?
It was Josh and Gary, and they had two other band names, I think.
We were going to be called Royal Bones, or we were going to be called Candy Teeth. And I wanted the band to be called Candy Teeth.
And that's awful. By the way,
Sounds like a weird drug.
And Wells,
sounds like meth mouth.
and Wells, you can't hear that.
You totally hear that.
And Wells wanted to call the band Royal Bones, and I had just got off a band called The Dead and the Postponed. And I was like, I really can't handle any more like bones or death. We're trying to write happy music now. Like
Fox, you can't even make your show anymore. It's like.
So let's get out of it. So then we said, how about Royal Teeth? And I was like, that sounds catchy. That sounds fun. So let's just roll with that. And I don't think we expected the band to take off quite the way it did. So you just need these kind of let's put a name, write some songs, and now we're Royal Teeth. So there you go.
Forever.
I love that. See, it wasn't boring.
It's charming. It's charming.
And now that you said that, and you joked about the drug, y'all are going to be playing somewhere in some club, and you're going to hear about it. You're going to be like, are you serious, dude? Yeah. Y'all kind of branded this, so.
Candy Teeth would be a really cool, weird band name. We're not very weird, so I guess. Watch out, someone's going to come out called Candy Teeth.
It's a mess.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just thanks for taking the time, and this is our second time playing here,
Yeah,
Cool.
it's been years.
so we're very excited to be back. And,
Did y'all play here at Luna?
We played across the street. This wasn't around yet.
Okay, so
I
y'all
think it was
played-
3 years ago.
Yeah, this was at AJ?
It
we
was,
hadn't
yeah.
even recorded our EP yet.
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah, we were a brand new band. We weren't even ready. Yeah. It's crazy.
So it's pretty much like our first time.
Yeah.
Anything coming up that y'all are super excited about?
We have a lot of festivals this summer. Got Bonnaroo next weekend. We'll be in Chicago next weekend as well, doing another festival there, and just staying
Firefly.
busy. Yeah, a lot of festivals, which is exciting.
We're going to see if Outkast will hang out with us.
Yeah, for Kanye West.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet y'all. I love to see a Louisiana band, obviously, take off, and just the fact that y'all are okay with constantly being busy. You know what I mean? Y'all really,
We love it.
yeah, that's really
Not
awesome.
everyone gets to do this, so you don't want to take that for granted, because there's always another band that'll take your place like that, especially these days with music,
Right.
So much. So if you have a chance, to take it. So we're just enjoying the ride.
Not to mention that they have several friends with them hanging out, and you can tell they're used to this interview because they're all sitting on their phones and they're like, "Oh my God, will this dude stop talking so we can have fun again?" So thank you all so much for your patience. I appreciate it, and thank you all again. I appreciate it as well.
Absolutely, man.
All right, guys, there it is. Royal Teeth right here on LA on Air with BRAY J.
Where were the accents? I was waiting for the accents.
He went for a couple of them and then took them out.